holiday excursion. What's been going on? It's me, Zen. So, I mean, might talk about these holidays and push button culture, how easy it is to access things, and open source, the idea of everything being available, and its pros and cons, and I don't know, we'll talk about some stuff. Who knows? Maybe we'll talk about your Christmas gifts. Did anybody get any good Christmas gifts? Anybody get any coal in their stocking? Although coal might come in handy these times of year, this time of year for some people, considering the cost of heating a house these days. How is everybody's day going? It's just so you know, it is December 27th, 2021, according to the Gregorian calendar, if you're watching this. What's up, Brenton? What are you doing, yo? Chilling, man. Just thought I'd come in here and say hello. I kind of have a couple ideas for stuff to talk about. I think we'll get into it through the movie The Giver, and maybe cleanliness of culture, and how easy it is to. I mean, you just pretty much push a button, you can access just about anything. And and how that functions in the digital realm, what that does to our psyche, what it does to us in the actual physical world that we seem to be living in. Get to the Matrix and the Giver. What up, Divine Hazel? I haven't seen the Giver in a couple years, and I didn't recognize how it basically was showing you the reset. I mean, it just didn't click because I didn't have the words, and I didn't have the idea of the reset society and mud floods and apocalypse, etc., etc. I didn't see how that. I just thought it was a fanciful thing, but now that it's almost certainly clear that that's what happened. I mean, watch what movie is it? Gangs of New York is another movie, and it's set in probably the right time for when the reset was, from when the people came from underground back up above ground. That's exactly what happens in the movie. And in The Giver, there's this community, this society has been rebuilt, and it's built on a few laws, but as it's being built, like the babies are given to people. There's like host mothers, and they're made in laboratories, the babies, and that is a major part of the reset when you look into it. And we're talking about the one that just happened in what, 1800s. I mean, the date is up for debate, but it does appear. I think most people would say the Carrington event was a big part of it. Yeah, I mean, there was all sorts of. I mean, look at a lot of John Levi's videos, and some other people did videos on the orphan trains, which are very strange orphan trains. The aged, they're all white. Where do they come from? Now there's a few choices here, but and then there was at the World's Fairs, there were always these incubators. And this is basically signs that come see live babies. That's as if people have never seen a live baby before, which is really, really, really. And this is like real stuff. This is what was going on at the World's Fairs. So what about this reset? What's up, Akio? It's been a little bit. Yes. Oh, here I am. Hello. So I'm watching The Giver. And what an interesting movie about this clean society, safety is a priority. Nature doesn't really find its way into society. There's, you know, these precepts that they live by are quite interesting. But it does show a very, very clear connection to incubated babies and an apocalyptic event. And then, what would that look like during this current, if you want to call it the loop or the cycle of time, or get into how the control of what we perceive as time is so much Saturn, and there must be some, major planetary influences on what we perceive as time and energies. Um, what would this one look like? Would it be plasma? Would it be an electrical plasma apocalyptic scenario? It's the way it seems for most of the things going on. I mean, we all have the obvious biological attacks on humanity. Then we have what seems as they the ones that have the power button there for the entire internet. There's someone there that can unplug the internet. It can be done. Um, yeah, so it seems, and so that is electrical based too. We have all of the things that are going on in society. They're being halted or being slowed or being changed or being like who has access to them. I think it's interesting that the when you look at all the movies, when you pay attention to predictive programming, it's when people go, oh, did the Simpsons predict the future? Well, here's the thing: is they're not predicting the future if they're making it. That's a major thing that people need to consider. Um, so in The Giver again, there's another major part of the movie. Well, I thought it was, and when he's downloading memories into the receiver, and uh, he experiences snow, and he's like, well, why isn't there snow here? He's like, well, with snow comes, the inability to grow crops, etc., etc. And he goes on this thing that everything you think has some like negative thing, so they have their climate controlled. So if the climate is being changed, is being controlled. So like what aspect of the larger reality isn't being controlled? I mean, how do you even maintain and be in this world if you're not somewhat technologically connected? Unless you grew up and you already have a piece of land and you're living on a farm, there's not a fucking chance in hell that you're gonna find. I mean, you could find go off on an adventure and find a cabin, I suppose, that no one's living in, and go about it. Yeah, sure, there's all sorts of dilapidated properties and things. Like, sure, but in a real scale, like, okay, there's the car, there's the fuel, there's the idea of being 100% self-sufficient, other than just even it being self-sufficient. If you just walk around and you were being a Buddha, and you'd still be you wouldn't be self-sufficient because you'd still be taking things from other people. So you're not relying on yourself. There is no such thing as self-sufficiency. It's a completely ridiculous notion. Even though, like, to say you're self-sufficient, if you didn't build the house, then you're not sufficient. You didn't build it. You didn't build the tool that built the house. You didn't make the meal. You didn't grow the crop. You didn't. It's not to be interconnected, and so the original interconnection with nature is rarely there, to any degree, and then to even participate in the larger world, in society, which exists. If you want to have any human interaction. I don't know about these humans though, You need to be somewhat present in the digital realm. There's not really a there's no workaround on that, unless you're already um, independently wealthy. There's you can and even that it takes using this to do it. You can't. There's no way to do it without it. Um, a documentary called, let me see here. Planet Lockdown, yeah. What's up, Finn? Yeah, I mean the whole thing is it's such a bizarre thing now with the whole, obviously the mask and all this nonsense. Like, how aren't we supposed to be advancing as a species, a culture, a being, a people, a consciousness, and but now we have to live with like the furthering of stupidity, of it's just literally like just here's more and more people that were trained to be stupid being even more stupid, and then oppressing the stupid people are oppressing the intelligent ones. It's not even close. If you think the smart people are oppressing you, then you don't understand what intelligence is. Smart people have no reason to oppress you. Stupid people do, and now they train people to be dumber. They train people to know nothing. They train people arbitrary rules, and they train people in they're it's misdirection, it's garbage information, and this is we're just here, have some garbage information. People eat it, and then they use it on you. It's insane. So stupid people have to stupid people. Like, if you just hand the keys, you have an empire. You're an intelligent person. You hand the keys to fucking dumb twat over here. Dumb twat runs the corporation now. What do you think's gonna happen? And that's literally what we have. Where did all the and intelligent people, they know better than to want to be leaders. Intelligent people know better than to want to repress and da 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 da. But yet we're sitting here going like, well, shit. I mean, apparently these people are in the way of progress. Like, how do you interrupt that progress of their stupidity? Because who's gonna buy from these stupid heads? More stupid heads. Just collectively, redundantly shitting all over the place. It's quite a bit of irony, because I don't see this. Everybody out here talking about this grand motherfucking awakening. Where is it? Show it to me, because all I'm seeing is more and more idiots and more repression, more and more assholes telling you to put a fucking mask on. You can't come in here. You can't do that. Like, that's not the direction we're supposed to be going. Yet, that's what we see. And that's not some illusory matrix. That's literally what's going on. Like, that you should be. And this motherfucker's on here. They're typing on their phone in their house. Like, well, then you're too much into the matrix. It's like, how aren't you? You dumb shit. Like, I wouldn't even be able to hear you if you weren't part of it, because you'd be in nature in a cabin, jacking off an antelope. You know what I mean? Like, what do you think? There's no. Neo, you're not understanding though. Roald Dahl. I don't know who that is. Haha, Finn, I dig it. Yeah, well, yeah, Brenton, that would imply that I think there can be any type of divine intervention. Then that would be secondary of saying what isn't divine, and what the aliens were said don't interfere. They have a non-interference policy. That's what I've heard. Non-interference policy. So if they're not allowed to, what, the fucking God's gonna come through and be like, well, let's go ahead and fix all this? I think he would have done that by now, because there's way too much bullshit. So, or she, or whatever it is, and it's not. So The only thing that's happening is you're going to watch people just miserably fail and suffer. And I mean, if you even have any clue to what the pokey pudding, the people getting stabbed, you know what I'm talking about, eating of that apple. If you had any clue of how what that's doing to people, like that's a, we're just gonna go ahead and we'll just let that one slide too. We'll let that one slide. That's what your boy God's doing out there. He could finally fix that, but chooses not to. So we're just stuck back with the simple question. All these people are like, oh, but Jesus said it, and Muhammad said it. Like, motherfuckers didn't say shit. Okay, just get off your stupid horse, because those people didn't exist. Those were characters in a story. Whether you like it or not. Because if that existed, then nothing. You're gonna read the whole book as interpretation. The whole divine shit is just trash to me, in the sense of someone going to come and fix it up. Because I mean, cool. I hope they would. Because there's certainly people out here that are more powerful than me and more powerful than you, even in this realm, and they ain't doing shit. Been down here in this for as far as we can tell. You gotta save yourself though. Beating around the bush. What's up, Afro man? Maybe I need to continue going with more and more realizing our potential as humans and how we have everything in our immune system we need to live in this life. Yeah, I mean, I guess, but then again, I mean, who makes the rules? Who is these extraterrestrials? Okay, as a side note, okay, why would you think? Why? How can people get out of ignorance if that's all they've been fed? You can't magically just come out of. There's not something that is going. There are aha moments, but you know, you can't expect somebody to magically speak English if all they've been taught is French. So if you've been taught bad math, you're going to know bad math. If you've been taught not how to do something, you're not going to know how to do it. It's just not. There's no escaping. If you were born imprisoned with a bunch of dogs, and you didn't have a mirror, and you would never see yourself as anything but a dog. So I don't. I just. It's potential as humans. I mean, what is this potential that we speak of? Potential to do what? Make all these things that are supposedly to assist humanity. Yet, once again, the things that are supposed to be there to assist humanity are always burdened by the fact that there is uh, a dollar amount that causes all the things to go to shit. A government might be able to work if it weren't for all of the influence of money. Products would work a lot better. There would be the safety recalls for cars would happen. You wouldn't be getting a stabby wound with something in it that's going to really do a number on you. That's not, well, I guess we're just going to have to kill some of them. And the other ones, I mean, what's the improvement? Okay, so go be a robot, I guess. Is that great? Cool. Go do it. Just seems like I don't see anything very human about stabbing people. Crazy thought. Take the red. Hey, if I was, I'd take the purple pill. I'd take them both. Why you can't? Why always the choice? Why red and blue? Why the two thing? No, I don't want that pill. Give me the green one. Give me the brown one. Give me the yellow one. Give me the purple one. I don't want either of those pieces of shit. Because why have this juxtaposition based upon their here's the choice I'm going to give you. Well, motherfucker, what do you mean? I don't want those two. I don't want one of those two people. I want a different cereal. What up, Camby? What's up, man? I mean, consciousness potential and like the goal. I really don't think the goal is to sit in meditation in a lotus posture. That's not it. You were given a body. You have all of these things going on. There's everything. You already are on Earth. You're already here. So, while there's a great deal of reason to sit in any fashion you like and meditate and get all into the other realms, great, great, great. But the purpose of this life, I cannot see it being that. You know, I'm conscious. Oh, I'm so conscious. Oh, I'm conscious. Cool. How's that working? People are just conscious and aware. They're not dealing with the downfall of everything around them. Like, I don't remember who it was. He's got a channel on the YouTubes. I dig this kid, and he's like really on some high level knowledge. And he's talking about, you know, stabbies, getting the stabbies. And he's like, my mother got it, and da 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 da. And these people are they're going to suffer greatly and probably expire. I've already known plenty of people to have major health issues due to such things. Like, but nobody will get it. But that's the, yeah, okay. All right. Then what's left over? There will only be seed of the ones smart enough. Which is odd because everybody could have been smart enough how to properly plant seed, when to, how to. But then no one was given, you know, no, just here, go play, stare at the TV, go do something worthless. Yeah, Finn, I hear you on that. Yeah, you should be able to sit and relax under a tree. You should be able to just go. Yeah, of course. You have to have relax time and energetic time and movement and da 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 da, and seems to be at this low level of intelligence, eating is somewhat important to people. You know, humans are social creatures that ingest things. We consume, but we also give. You know, so there is a balance there. I mean, there's surely a lot of people that are more consumers. Push button consumer society. I mean, but what's the point of that? Or do we just live like all of the what do you call them, the rich from the early, you know, the tycoons and things? We'll just live off of everybody else's desires and ignorances, and we'll feed them no knowledge. Just continue to feed them to ignorance, so that their desires will continually fill our coffers, excuse me, and fill our coffers and create things that we want. So that's how that works? I mean, okay, might as well. You do it when you don't really want to. See, I don't do that. I would agree with you know, Gito and Alan and a few other people. And most of them said meditation is stupid. If you're not already meditating right now, like that's the limit. I mean, if you need to sit down to go and think, so be it. But if you can't think while walking, if you can't be in a meditation in either way, I don't. If I don't want to, I don't. It's pretty simple for me. Um, I mean, I hear you. Some people should probably. Who said um, if you don't have if you don't have time to practice if you don't have time to practice meditating for 15 minutes a day, practice for half an hour. If you don't have time to practice for half an hour, practice for an hour. Making a statement of saying, well, you should have more. You know, you need to make somehow time in your life for that. I agree with the concept, not the actual physical practice. Yeah. I hear you about the. Yeah, it makes other things not as challenging, sure. But standard worldly things that we need to accomplish, sure. Meditation could surely help with that. Uh, oh, yeah. What about beginners that are stuck on the world? Where'd you start with that? I would say the number one thing is control your diet. Like, really, like, I think the number one thing is to fast from food. That is, across the board, the most intelligent thing someone could do. From every psychological, from neurology, like how things connect in your brain, your biology, your what you how what you really think, your addiction to food, your connection to it, how much time it frees up, um, learning when you're actually hungry and when you're thirsty. There's a whole. I mean, anything. If you could do any, if anybody could do something, just go fat. I don't care if it's gonna be juice. I would say start with water, but I'm a crazy person. Why would you ever drink water? It's so bad for you. I'd see somebody do a post on how water is bad for you, and he was coming from a level that I understood his point. But this is the same point, as I'll just remind people. People that tell you to dry fast, no, you can't just dry fast. And people that go, oh, water is no good, are the same people that want to dry fast that never have fasted on water for more than a day, that don't juice fast very often. They're like, oh, I can dry fast. You'll cause a lot of problems. It's not a good idea. Just like don't drink water is a very bad idea, unless you're to the point of already consuming fruit, like you're on a fruit diet. You're just having plasma. You're consuming your liquid other ways, which is a higher idea. But 99% of people should not be dry fasting, and you should not be going without water, because water is going to be doing a ton of cleansative work. And most people are so underhydrated that say water will dehydrate you. Not really. I don't know about that. I mean, I get how somebody said that works, but I don't think salt to dehydrate you, because it's just. I'm not getting into the whole how that. I'm not getting into that right now, but I will say, for beginner, fasting on its own will become a meditation, because your mind will start functioning different, and you have to accept what your mind is, and what your little meaningless desires are, because really most of your desires for food are quite recreational, quite unneeded. Just like most of your thoughts, they're worthless. They're not yours. Just like your hungers, the life exists because of desires, and they will be there. But your hunger that you have for things, no, those are addictions. 99% of them. Who made the rule about? I don't think anybody made a rule about meditation. I just happen to agree with. I just happen to agree with the sitting down and posturing yourself and doing all this to open up nadis and da 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 and the Buddha and all this. I think it's another overreach of where people are starting. Just like not consuming water or dry fasting. Most people's posture is so bad to begin with. I can't even sit in a quality uh, position because my IT bands are really tight, and it would take me a very long time to get to the point where it was even comfortable to sit in full lotus. Now, would it be great if I could? Yeah, would I like to? How am I going to go through? Is that going to change anything about my expression of my mind and things? No, not really. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, if my body's in a healthier state, my mind would be, etc., etc. Yes, but for most people, they're not going to be sitting in full lotus and putting their tongue to the back of the roof of their mouth and putting their eyes up correctly and breathing and getting into. They're not going to be doing that in any short period of time. And will it be comfortable? And is it good for them? It could be. It could be not good for them. Oh, well, I said men should be wearing dresses and women. Okay, dresses in the sense, I'm not saying wearing fucking. I'm not just saying switch gear. What I'm saying is, if you look into all the classic ancient cultures, well, how did the Indian men wear? What do the samurais wear? What do these they wear? These kimonos and these tunics and these things, because men have testicles. There's no reason you should have two pant legs coming up to go right up in your crotch where your dick and testicles are. It doesn't make no sense. See, women don't have anything there. It'd make more sense for women, because women do wear pants. They would put the pants on. Men would wear the dress to have the free flowing, and everything about. Alan Watts did a really big talk on this. Um, this is about like how repressive a man's business suit is. The jacket doesn't fit you right. It's a mold. The tie goes around your neck. It's a noose. I mean, everything about a suit is. Oh, I like a. You know why women like men in a suit? I want a military suit dressed man, because they're easily controlled. They're molded. They're made into something. That's a. This is what I will do, and I will. They're very good, great, grand, wonderful. I'm just saying, there's no extra room for expression. They are what you get. That's the box. That's what it is. That's what the suit does. Someone that can, use aikido, jiu-jitsu, freeform martial arts, right? They're wearing a dress and can move differently. That's a little more artistic. It's like you never know right there. But everything about the way the tunics and things, it's obviously in every way more of what a man should wear. What's up, C Noble? Yeah, a walking meditation. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I mean, the art of sitting still is, if you're going to eat, eat. If you're going to sit, sit. Don't shake your leg. If you're going to dance, dance. It's kind of like to be a singular thing. Don't you can't eat and blow bubbles at the same time, kind of thing, I guess. It's like you have to your people's mind go in too many different directions at once. I think that's the point of that's the point of sitting down and focus. That's the point of sitting down in meditation. But the problem with sitting down in meditation is people get so obsessed with the idea they need to sit down and think about something that their mind becomes even more of a shit show. And there's other things like, how many tools are there for meditation? You've got the bells, you've got the um, you could put your headphones in and have your binaural beats. Grab a bowl, bing. You could whatever. I mean, there's all sorts of tools. I mean, there's even more tools that we have now from all of the marketing and whatever. But simply put, is you should be able to just sit there. But most people won't be able to because their mind would be so obsessed with the fact that they need to meditate. If you meditate, you must be different. I mean, think about it. I mean, how many people do you see and you go, oh, that person, they're dressed like this, and here's how kind of they act, and like if people see the way I dress sometimes, they, oh, do you do yoga? I'm like, I'm doing yoga right now. They're like, oh, do you meditate? I'm like, I'm meditating right now. Like, it's people don't even see it as, oh, you must do that thing, as it's some sort of practice that is so not human, not American, not that's reserved for certain people that are spiritual or whatever. I mean, I think they separate spirituality from I'll smack the shit out you. Like there is no separation there. Finn, invest our time in the same knowledge to reach the depths of understanding Alan came to. No, I don't think so. I think you should spend your time doing what the hell you want to do. Yeah, enjoy yourself. If what brings you happiness is finding out the secrets to the universe, go for it. I mean, would I really say go be an absolute hedonist? Not really, but go try it out. You'd probably end up becoming either you become either bored with it or see that that's how life should be. I know it's just like anything. Some people get really, as long as it's not an addiction. I mean, because you can't really be in hedonistic pleasure at all times. It's not possible. Even the Oshos and everybody else that were trying to teach something about communion with oneself and sexual nature of man, and you're not going to be fully you can't be fully a hedonist all the time. You can't be always eating the best food. You can't always be eating the best pussy. It's not gonna always be available. Like, it's not gonna be always part. So you have to, any peak, there's going to be a valley in your what you're interchanging energy with. I mean, granted, if I could go get myself a humble temple somewhere, have like it be where it's nice weather most of the time, and have saunas and hot tubs and beautiful naked women walking around, I'm sure that would be quite near the peak of pleasure as often as possible. But there'll still be the other parts of the world where, I mean, wouldn't you want to wrestle a lion eventually? You eventually would. Wouldn't you want to go and do some other shit? You would. You'd get bored of it. You would get be overstimulated, or in one direction. Yeah, Fane, I'm with you on, like, yeah, you can understand that. I mean, that is to sit on the bench and just sit there and go, oh, look at all the wonder. Yeah, that's great. But you can't say that has any, it holds no candle to the actual immersive experience, the experiential life. It's not even close. It's just the same as you could remember the time that you or playing. It's close, but it's not the same. So the immersive, experiential version will always take precedence. Why? That's why you have a body. That's why you're here. You didn't come here to go back into nothingness land. I mean, it's great to be there and have that relaxation, that comfort of going, oh, that dog will be there tomorrow, and those puppies will still be, that those ducks will still be playing, and there'll be snacks, and there'll be all sorts of fun shit that we can do tomorrow, and it'll be there next year too, and whatever, and things will change. That's all great. Spiritual understanding, yeah, for real. Is it? Hey, see, no, but you said mistletoe is a poo twig. I never heard of that. Yeah, I never been. Well, you know what? I've been to some hot springs, not in North Carolina, I think. Neo Geo, what up, yo? Can you rearrange the slice pad and step at it on the SX1? That's fine. Why did you just ask me about my SX1? I think so. I think so. I haven't used it from that level of reprogram. I haven't used it that much lately. I think so. Let me read this again. Can you rearrange the slice pad and step at it on the SX1? I'm sure you could probably find somebody to show you how to do that. Like off the top of my head, I don't know. You could probably get onto you could probably get on the YouTubers and find somebody that has that. I mean, I have the. That's funny. I have the book right there. I could look it up. Do you ever look it up? Do you not have the book with you? What up? What up? Yeah, often acquire the peaceful spirit, and thousands will be saved around you. Yeah, I mean, I can be. I know that feeling, that zone. I know that comfort, but sometimes there's still the world going on, and there's still things that you have to interact with, that you will interact with, that will give you. Well, fuck. It's raining. I gotta go somewhere else. It's cold. I need a blanket. I'm hungry. I would like to eat. There's still that, and there's still like people that want to interact. What up? What up? Wakey, wakey. He's on Odyssey now. Yeah, yeah. Cause they shut his shit down in here. Mm. You say mistletoe should not exist, but yet they do. Sticky poo from birds. I mean, what? Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? Why shouldn't they exist? That's like saying. I mean, I think mosquitoes shouldn't exist. What piles of shit are they? What? Why are they around? They're annoying. I mean, shit. I think there's a lot of things that shouldn't exist. Just kind of get in the way. A lot of humans like that, right? It contains all, and just love it as it feels secure and most real. Yeah. Okay. I was meditating a little bit on this yesterday. It's just the whole notion of love, and what a overused and ridiculous word it is to me. It always has been. It's silly, and whatever that feeling is, and I get it. There is a feeling of comfort and warmth and all of this. You can't. It's like the Neville Goddard. Having those spiritual journeys of going, just to have these expectations, and you'll have it. And da-da. I get that works, but to think that I can just walk around all day and just go, no, 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 I actually feel good right now. I actually am fully immersely connected with people, and I'm happy. It doesn't happen. It just doesn't. Sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to interact with anybody. I've already talked. I hung out yesterday. I don't want to eat today. I don't want to. I don't want. I don't even. I'm walking around. I'm like, I don't even want to play with these ducks. I don't fucking want. Like I'm tired. I'm not tired like I want to sleep. I'm just like exhausted from just the level of everything, and it's not. It doesn't make me happy. I wouldn't say sad. Maybe apathetic at times, but not overly. But I just go, oh, this will pass too, huh? Yeah, I mean, wouldn't it be so easy if you could just go, well, you know what? Like shit. Okay, I know. Like, give me the drugs those people are on. I know a lot of people that are always like happy, happy, joy, joy. You know, and I'm like, how do you stay like that? And then I get to hanging out with them. Man, I notice the pills they be popping. I mean, shit. I mean, that to me, good for you, but it is a cheat code. It is a cheat code. I'm not like to see them downtime. Yeah, I mean, see, so if we say that, yeah, if you say that, divine, no one has the concept of love and what it what it entails. Then why even discuss it ever? If no one knows, then why discuss it? It seems so fruitless and silly. If people think they know, it means everything is everything. Everything is the Tao. Everything is God. The good, the bad, the evil, the ugly. Ah, it's all love. Don't say love then, because that's not what love feels like. Love does not feel like getting repeatedly. What did your boy say? Like humanity getting their neck stomped on for the rest of eternity. I don't think that's love. And I don't think getting kicked in the nuts repeatedly is. And I don't think being fucking assaulted by the media and these shit stained, shiny suit wearing, shisty motherfuckers in business, corporations, government. That I don't see that as being love. I see it as being a bunch of fucking twats. Now, in response to that, helping someone, uh, you know, eat or, cross the street, that's good, right? But that's not what that's not what, so I don't, but it's all love. Oh, it's all love. Yeah, right. As the dude's sitting there beating the shit out of his child and his wife. That's love. That's insane. It's just I can get the feeling, the vibe when things are all lovey lovey in the air. You come listen to music, but that's a meditation right there. But it ain't. Bombs over Baghdad and all this shit dropping on your head, just getting mentally, spiritually, and that ain't it. So everything is it? It can't be. If you're gonna say love, then just say Tao. If you're gonna say Tao, then just say God. If you're gonna say God, just say it is what it is. You know. Being peaceful, perhaps. That might be close. I think that might be closer. But peaceful in to what degree? What is peaceful if someone's assaulting and insulting you? How can you have peace when it'd be peaceful for me to go feed my family, right? But I go to the store and they don't let me in because I don't have my papers. I can't feed my family. That doesn't seem too peaceful, right? Seems to be a confusion here. If man created the shit shows, wars, and the asinine great, well, yeah. Well, I agree with you, but divine, is man not made in God's images, or however you want to put it, and it's like saying, well, everyone is man, including you. So what are we left with? It's like, I mean, surely I get that. But then how do you? Then there is no separation. Then you're part of the man thing. You're not gonna sit here and be like even the ones that were closest to God. Did they not deal with bullshit? Because of man. So, but you're man. So what do we do? Yeah. Yeah, it's like I watched I watched the movie last night. It was called, it's funny you put that there, Finn. I watched this movie called Don't Look Up. It just came out Netflix. And basically these, I didn't see the end of it because I passed out. But basically there's a comet headed straight to Earth. And these two people know for certain it is. And then it's like they go to the White House and all this. And anyways, this is a big fucking hoopla event because no one really believes them. They don't really care. They just like they care more about their ratings and everything else. And there's a point where she's saying like, why isn't anyone at all concerned? Like you all acting like, I'm telling you that thing right there you can see it's going to hit the earth and destroy civilization completely in 6 months time, and no one gives a shit. And she was just like irate with it, and like, what aren't you? This doesn't even. It goes so disconnected from anything that's not like a. You should be. If you're not, who said it better? If you're not pissed off a little bit here, you're not fucking paying attention at all. If you're just sitting here going, you're not paying attention to anything this fuck's going on. So, like in one sense, she was overly dramatic about like, well, for me, when somebody said the world's gonna end and a comet's gonna hit Earth, you know what? Okay, for me, I don't think most people have that reaction. I think most people should have the reaction of going, holy shit, what the fuck? What's gonna go, blah blah blah. It should be a little bit more, like, and they're like on the news, and people just don't give a shit. People are like more interested in like the social media aspect of it. They're so disconnected. And yeah, so I think most people like would probably have a little similar response, like, whatever, dude. And they should. Uh, they should have a let me rephrase that. Most people should have a little bit of a care and go, holy shit, but at the same time you have to, what are you going to do about it? It's like when people are always like pointing at some shit on the news, and I'm like, well, what are you going to do about it? Well, there's an island, and there's these people, and there's Guantanamo Bay, and there's this guy fucking all these things over here, and there's these things over here, and this, like, well, okay, that sucks. What are you going to do? What is anybody doing? Like, isn't it ironic that the people that could do something about it, the larger, conglomerates of people, the major three-letter organizations and the news media, because they're all in cahoots, instead of them going and doing something about it, they're just telling you about it. And you can't do shit about it. And you won't do shit about it. Because you can't. So what's the point? Why get caught up in it? But everybody gets caught up in it. Well, who cares? Who gives a shit? And, funny enough, most of it's probably bullshit anyways. So, start there. C Noble, the Wormwood, Nibiru. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about any of the comet bullshit, because obviously the only way that's happening is if it's something's coming out of what is the perceived, I don't know, dome or something that we live under. Whether it's made out of anything, it would have to be coming from another realm, perhaps, but it would always be coming this way. There's no, and isn't that interesting? One of the big things about comets, why do they always come this way? They're always falling. They're falling. They're not going. They're never going up through the sky and up this way, because you'd see them go in all different directions, but you never do. You never do. Never will that ever happen once, because it's not what you think it is. So it could be a piece of something that falls off the sky. Could be coming from another realm. I don't know. But the whole comets and I don't know. Who the fuck cares? The ones that took out the dinosaurs? Yeah, right. I'm sure that's how that happened. Unless they just called the comet like a bomb from another country, another realm. That's a possibility. Hey, well, welcome. If anybody wants to, there is a thumbs up button. If you've enjoyed this, I do appreciate that. And if everybody's feeling like they are in a giving spirit after these holidays, because I didn't get too many Christmas gifts, not that I really expected any, but if you want to help out and make sure there's food on my table and this roof over my head, feel free. CashApp, PayPal, Venmo, TsarXen. It's in the description box beneath. I appreciate it, because I have not been doing perfectly well with monetary units recently. Maybe a Death Star. Wasn't the Death Star the moon? I mean, I see. If I'm reading into the Hollywood narrative as predictive programming, because they're controlling the narrative and what's going to come. Not because of a collective conscious thing, although some things are collective consciousness that they're controlling. Other things they're actually technologically doing, physically doing. So if I'm following that narrative, I see a reverse of the polarity. I see the moon going the other direction. I see a possibility of shit flipping over and everything, the electromagnetic spectrum just gets reversed. And I think that would be the end of the pendulum in time, from masculine to feminine, right? From electric to magnetic. And I think things would go in a magnetic direction. If I'm following that narrative, it seems like the most closest to reality. More so than some giant rock hitting. I mean, perhaps. I mean, what I also can't help but to point out is, I mean, think about, we've only been here a little while. Not a species, me and you. But throughout your life, how many different apocalyptic, world-ending, etc., scenarios have you had to interact with to consider? And how many times was Jesus supposed to come back? How many times was... I mean, it's... And funny, part of this movie, Don't Look Up, part of it is they were saying, so they go in the White House, and they're just sitting there and they kind of blow them off, and the chick's all like, are you crazy? Like, I just told you that, like, if we have to that we can maybe do something about this, like, throw some bombs at it or whatever. And then they're just kind of sitting there just going, I think you're overreacting, I think you need to settle down. And to which she's freaking out even more about. And she's like, I don't think you understand that. She's like, and they go, okay, hold on. How many people this past week have been in here with some, the world, there's gonna be a world hunger, there's gonna be climate crisis, and they go through this whole like 20 different things, like, and they're like, every day it's a new thing. And so, like, the plasma apocalypse and the reset to me seem pretty real, in the sense that it's clear that they've happened before, and that's kind of what Hollywood is hinting at in all of the movies. So in that sense, but in another sense, I'm just like, whatever. Okay, thought Atlantean turn their mind against each other. Interesting. Okay, Finn. Let me see. Let me see. Here's the dilemma I have with your math, and the base premise, Finn. First of all, I don't think the Earth's diameter is 24,000, you know. And I don't think light has a speed. In fact, I know it doesn't. Go read Walter Russell's work. It reproduces itself. And you can't just say light has a speed because light has how many different vibrational colors and things in it. It's and the vibration of the earth would be based upon what? Are we sure it's not done electromagnetically on purpose? Because how many things on this realm are not like how how insane these astrological clocks are, and how as soon as we start looking deeper and deeper into what mountains are and they used to be buildings, and how big these, I mean, the Schumann resonance of Earth. I mean, granted, it might be who and how the hell is measuring it. Like, I mean, I get it. I've read it before. I used to be on 7.83. Well, that was supposed to change. That was supposed to change in 2010. I remember back when everybody was on that in 2012 when the Mayans said shit was going to end. And now we're supposed to believe it's 2012 now because it's 2021. And if you take the 2 and the 1 and reverse it, motherfucker, what happened to 1,000 years we're missing? We're in the year 1021. It's all the math and the I get it. Everything is cymatics and everything is cymatics and geometry. It's not mathematics. Everything is cymatics and geometry, which is shape and value of this to another is to this. It doesn't have to do with numbers. So when I get into the numeric thing, especially the circumference of the Earth, the only way I'm buying that is if that's how far it is around where you'd consider our outer ring, or the outer part of this realm before we get to another realm. So I don't know. I don't think it's random, but it says it takes for the creator through yeah, I mean, I hear you. Like, I hear you on. I'm very much into. Obviously, I'm very much into numerology and how this shit might work. But all in all, like, so much of it seems to be quite. I don't know. We've been bullshitting so much of the of how, so much of science. It's insane. The size, the shape of Earth, how far the moon, the sun is, what they are, what planets are. I mean, there's nothing really, like, for me, religion and science are no different. They're so, like, they try to make it seem like one is just an airy fairy story that some of it looks right and some of it is right, and the other is like, oh, it's certainly this way. When time and time again, it's science gets proved wrong, or on purpose, it's shown to be completely for a purpose of lying. So I don't really. Oh yeah, I mean, thoughts are faster than speed. As soon as you think something, it happens, right? Thoughts are faster than the speed of light. Yeah, sure. Because I mean, our understanding of the speed of light could only be how far could the light go. Who cares what the speed is? If the speed of light, even if it were 184,000 miles per second, so be it. But how far can that light go? There's only a certain distance before it'll be on. You won't be able to see it. Obviously, if the sun is on the other side of the realm, we ain't seeing it over here. So certainly, it's only traveling a few thousand miles, a few thousand miles at best, right? Maybe, and that's a huge light. So it doesn't really matter that it can travel 184,000 miles because there ain't no light traveling that far. The farthest light we could probably assume is the sun, and whatever those things are in the sky, they're obviously smaller and not as bright. So, I mean, I get you when you say his name adds to 11. I don't know what my name adds to. Yeah, and the temple being 33, your spine, yeah. Yeah, Finn, I got you. I got you on the. I mean, I got you on how the mathematical breakdown of things, but what? Let's use this in a more fundamental way. I'm a child. I don't understand math. Why would I? I never would be able to, unless somebody instructed me. I can understand how things work geometrically. I will be able to do that, just based upon me working in and out of nature, and I have this shape to put in here, and here this lumber goes here, and I can figure out geometry. I can't figure out numbers. Numbers are not going to really exist. I can figure out this to that is the other. So, as much as I know, I do right here, no. But let's say I know math. I can do math in my head. I'm good at it. But let's just get rid of that. How could I apply what you're saying to whatever's happening in creation, whatever's happening out here? It's like theoretical physicists. It's like people with all these numbers. They're like, well, the numbers is the universe. It's the movie Pi. Okay, apply that. Show me how that works. What does that mean? You have to understand what I'm saying. How does that work? How does that improve and change my life? Because 11 is the circumnavigation of 333 divided by the square root of pi multiplied by the inverse ratio of, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I do all that math on paper. So the fuck what? I've drawn a Vesica Pisces. What does it do? Okay, so I can visualize it. Great, but it's not. What is it doing? It's always my trouble with anybody that talks any math. I mean, I get ratios. I get how these numbers and 11, 22, and 33 are master numbers, and we can why there's 365 days. It's the circle is 360, but then I have to say, well, why is it 360? Because it could be any degrees we want it to be. It could be 1,000 degrees if we'd like it. So there's a lot of things that are just like mathematics to me doesn't speak to me at all. And people that say mathematics, math is everything, math is the universe. No, those are people that deal with math themselves, and the universe is not based on math. It's based on ratios, geometry, and cymatics. That is not math. Math is you're using a base 10 system and doing all these things to define something. No, it's ratios. It's geometry. It's not math. Uh-huh. I assumed you did. I mean, okay. Yeah. Okay, okay, from my body standpoint, okay, I got my 33, my neocortex, I got 33 in my spine. Well, 32 in my spine and then my skull. Then I got 32 teeth, and then I get it in relation to the human body. Being the temple. I get that. But still, again, what is and these gateways and these things? We got the 12 lights, which are the in the skull, right? And you got yeah, sure. Maybe the further question I'm asking is how do you explain that to somebody that doesn't have a Bible, that is in a tribe? How do you explain that to somebody that is in a completely different culture? This shouldn't be limited to just to us who heard the good word of, you know what I mean? And that could be any book for that matter. Any scientific book, any of these other Thoth and any of these other ancient books, which again, always have to be taken with a heavy dose of skepticism due to the fact that they've all been altered. Because why would they ever give you if everything in here is bullshit and backwards and at least lacquered with a nice set of bullshit and lies, then how can we trust anything in the Bible, in the Quran, in Thoth, any of these things? It's what I'm just saying is, it seems like between the translations and everything else, we're already starting with numbers that are off. I mean, we can certainly see that we do have how our body works. We can certainly figure that out, how many bones we have and all this. That I'll take it from that standpoint. That you could communicate to someone if they didn't speak your language. So practically, there's not a lot of practical knowledge out there. People are like, oh, here's square the ratio of this, and they give you here's a cool thing, and they go, oh, great, I've learned something. Like, I don't think you did. I don't think you know. Not you, but. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, friend. What's up, Colin? Colin, yeah, that's about the size of it. Nah, there's just man made up stuff. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it does have a value. It does have a. If I want to build a house, of course, it's going to be easier. Of course, it'll be easier for me to have an arbitrary. It is arbitrary unit of measurement, but as long as it's in the correct ratios of here's an inch to a foot to a whatever. Like, okay, so in that sense, sure, but that's measurement and mathematics are just, it's all subject to where, I mean, shit, the fact that some places use meters and kilometers and some people use miles, and that's just goes to show you how it's, you can't even communicate in math properly. How is that? If math is the universal language, you should be able to communicate with it. Yet you can't, because some people are working with different systems. I'll say, hey, go 100 meters. Like, I don't know what that fucking means. Well, you got a conversion. It's just like saying, if I said, go make some pancakes, but I'm speaking English, somebody else is speaking Spanish, they're gonna have to make a conversion. It's not. It doesn't. It's not. It's not a universal language. Yeah, I mean, hey Finn, I mean, I hear you in the sense of some people, they like the calmness and the certainty of numbers. That one will always be right, one thing, and two will always be two things, and there's a certain. I can see how that works for people. And yeah, I could see how it can calm people. It's just like having mala beads. Count to 108, and you're in a meditation. You get that right brain focused on something, and then. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Finn, I hear you. I hear you. Hmm. The Nokia language, the Anunnakian language. Interesting spelling of that. I've never seen it spelled that way, but I like it. Yeah, the Enochian was who worked with that a lot. That was your boy. Uh, that was his name. The 007. Uh, J. What the fuck is his name? D. Yeah. Fucking. Why am I failing on his name here? John D. Yeah, JD. John D. Yeah, that's like a. Yes. It's fucking John Deere, bro. That's his whole thing is John Deere, John D. B. The lawnmower man. Oh man, it's so nice out. I'm going to have to get outside soon enough, cause it is like I don't know. I think I got 80s all week. I don't even know what to do. Woohoo! It's Monday though, huh? I don't know what to do. Gotta be outside. Gotta go get some fresh air. I was feeling all like in one sense I was feeling like depressed and wanted to be inside. Maybe that holiday thing, because I don't really have family to fucking have holidays with, so I kind of go, fuck holidays. But then I was also having, at the same time, I was having that stir crazy cabin fever. So there's this whole weird thing, which in one sense I was like, I don't want to be out in public. Fuck all this. I don't want all the holiday shit. And I'm like apathetic and depressed. And the other moment, I'm just very much like, I have to be outside. It's like 78. It's beautiful out. There'll be people out, and the duality of my life. See, no, but what are you talking about? You got snow, so you gotta go. Okay, peace out. See, no, but in here, like, I got snow. I gotta go fucking. I gotta have a vacuum and well, not vacuum. I gotta go blow the driveway and shovel everything off. Oh yeah. Well, peace out, yo. Oh, you gotta do snow angels. Yeah, man. Mm. Yeah, man. It's fucking crazy warm here right now. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be like 80 all week, which is crazy. It was 70. It was 78 for Christmas, and maybe have like an 80-degree New Year. If that's not global warming, I don't know what is, man. But I'm fucking. But I'm also having this. But I'm like totally broke as shit right now, like monetarily. And I'm trying to stay on that good mental vibe. I haven't really made any sigils. You know, maybe I should get back into doing some sigil magic. But like, man, you know, sometimes you just can't get your feet under you to be motivated to do something, because it just seems fruitless, and you just go, fuck this. You know, you ever get that feeling? You're like, this is even worth me trying to do this other thing. I've had a couple of those with things to do, and I'm just like, I don't think it's worth it. And then like, is my mind getting in my way? See, I gotta come up with some money. Anybody know how I can make a G note real quick? Let me know. I'll suck your dick. Not really. That was a joke. That was a joke. Yeah, man. Well, see, I feel bad. I mean, I want to go play with the ducks, but I got no duck food, and that shit. You know what? I can't really be spending extra on duck food right now. It's just fucking gay. But yeah, and it's fucking. I live next to the park, so I always go to the park. It looks redundant to me. It's a huge park. There's plenty of places to go, but I'm just like, I kind of know this feeling. Ugh. What up, Danny Skylark? Bucker up. Yeah, pucker up, Buttercup. Yep. You know, just trying to stay at that Zen mode of chilling, but then somehow deal with the utter fucking tyranny and fascism that just seeps in everywhere, and you're just like, Jesus Christ, I got to deal with this bullshit now. Like the other day when I was out, the amount of people that I saw wearing double masks was crazy. It was super crazy. So granted, I do sometimes forget that I live in a very, like, people travel here. This is a destination, right? And I forget it's the destination city. But the amount of motherfuckers that were wearing double masks was insane. Like, a lot. I don't know what a lot means. 40%. I mean, on the streetcar, there was only one other person that even attempted to take their mask off like I did. Everybody else is double masked. Then I get off and people walking around just outside with masks on. I was like, I kind of want to I just want to hand out guns. Just guns. Just hand them out. She's like, wait, don't worry. On TV, they'll tell you one day that you should just put this in your mouth and blow your brains out. And you'll probably do it. I didn't cause that. The TV did. They told me to do it. I didn't say to do it. I said, I don't think you should use it. It's free. It's like, I'm going to hand it out like I hand out, like they hand out condoms, like they hand out free food. You know, you got to give people protection. And that's what it'd be used for. But when they tell you on TV to turn it on yourself, motherfuckers are going to listen. I hate to say so. I hate to be the one to break it to y'all. But quite clearly, there are people at this point that if Fauci said that by you farting, you could give your grandmother super AIDS, you should take this dildo and his butt plug and jam it up there. Motherfuckers would put a butt plug all the way up into their anus. They would, with not even second guessing. They'd probably be going around sniffing other people's asses to see if they have butt plugs. To ask, and probably, do you have your butt plug in? Could you imagine that? Because it's really not any different. I mean, the farther and farther we get into this, it's no different. When somebody's like, with the masky thing, like, it's not too far away from someone saying, hey, are you wearing your butt plug? I was like, I didn't know we were that intimate. Where are we at? Meditation in the park? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I want to go to the park, but I also wouldn't. This is like one of the times I wouldn't mind smoking some trees, sitting on a tree, but I don't have any. Oh shit! I might have some weed. Look at that! I got a gift the other day. I think I might have some weed. Well, I mean, Divine, I hear you at all times, but that just don't work. I don't care how to break it to people. Like, I've gotten fully, like, to the point of assaulted over not wearing a mask on public transport, and I've seen plenty of videos of people getting manhandled, tossed out of a store. So I'm just like, I think, you know, for me it's a pick and choose battle kind of thing. And how much bullshit do I want to deal with today? I don't think you can do it all the time, because it just you would be that asshole. And I get it. I'm all for non-compliance, but for me it has to be. It's most of the time. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes it's just like pick and choose your battles. Know what I mean? And speaking of picking and choosing battles, aw shit. Looky. I think somebody is in business. Oh yeah. Well, isn't that nice? I did get a. Hey, you know what? Funniest thing, best Christmas gift I got this year. Other than a couple people on here gave me a chunk of dollars, but that had to go right to other things. Some random kind of fucking street dweller gave me a fat ass nugget. Uh, yeah, I do wonder too about levels of compliancy in certain places. You know, like obviously, if you're in a country, you're a rural dweller, if you're into, then you're probably not going to have so much calamity over this bullshit. Then you have whether you're living. I think if you're living in a white suburban neighborhood, I think those areas are probably almost completely wearing masks. Then I think that if you go into somewhere that is maybe city life esque, and you're like somewhere in on the outskirts of the city, I don't think it will be there. I think it'll be more often no one gives a fuck. And then I think depending on the city itself, and I think that's a difficult one. But I think that like how much you have to interact with it, because just putting it out there, like some people, like if you live in and go to certain places, if you live in a smaller town, like you're probably not dealing with them. You're not dealing with it on a regular basis, so it's easy to go, oh well, I am not. Okay. You might have relationships built with people where that you saying you're not going to is already going to be held in higher standard. Where like if you just in a city, you're not gonna. There's like zero biased. You know what I mean? Like living in a larger city, you got to go the way the city goes to a pretty certain degree, unless you're getting into little bodegas and shit. Hey, I mean, Divine. The cemetery is right behind me. Yeah, I haven't been there in a while. That might be in order today. Yeah, I mean, Colin, I hear you on that. Definitely. Those things, like if they want you to so bad, like they're definitely a maniac. Like there's something wrong with them mentally. Now, normally you wouldn't have to cower to their prejudices because obviously they're a very prejudiced person and they can't even understand how silly it is. But I seen a video of a old man on a plane that some woman he was eating. Some woman starts going off on him, yelling at him to put his mask on. Well, she's not even wearing a mask, and then ends up becoming vile, like insane, and punches this dude in the face and all this shit. Like this is an old man, like an 80-year-old man, and it was fucking hilarious, in the worst way. I mean, hilarity to me is everywhere, but like I was just like, this bitch is crazy, like crazy, crazy. Sometimes you just gotta go. Yeah, I hear you on the mask thing. It's like one thing is don't cower down, and like in the real world, if someone were to say put a mask on, and I'm like no, the next step would be like fisticuffs. Like get out of my face. This is not up to you. Tell me what the fuck to do with my physical body. Get the fuck away from me. Where does that lead to? What kind of story is that? What kind of bullshit do we? But yeah. But then there's that like. But if they do that to you, then they're gonna try. They're gonna keep trying that. And they're gonna think it's only gonna doubly encourage them that they're in the right. Which I think maybe then they'll just do it to the wrong person. I hope they don't do that to somebody that's like on a bus or something. Don't do that to the guy that has nothing to lose, because you're gonna lose badly. And I don't, and I don't think that these people are gonna they're going to violate the wrong person. And I don't care what anybody says, what they think, they're always going to be in the wrong, always. like Just about any time I've gotten punched in the face I mean, there's a degree of shit you can talk before, like, a slap to the mouth is probably a fair reward. I would almost never. I would almost never blame anybody else. Almost never. I mean, sometimes there's certainly they overreact, but yeah. Well, a compliment, compliant. Yeah, a compliment or a compliant. Interesting breakdown there. Yeah, to appease. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I'm not into the world of appeasing things, but there is the book 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, and there are some times where there's some times in life where you play the fool, you bite your lip, you just do that. It's not encourageable. It's kind of like it's not encourageable to do it all the time. Is what I'm saying. It's kind of like when Dave Chappelle did when keeping it real goes wrong. It's kind of like that. Like how real, how deep you let this go? I don't know. Yeah, compliance to me, compliance to me is this: if you walk into a Saks Fifth Ave, if you walk into a place of a very high class and status and whatever, there is a unwritten rule of there's some sort of expectations towards general aroma, dress code. I mean, there has to be. You don't no. Why would you think that place is for you when you'd have trouble getting a table at McDonald's? So I think in compliance in that regard is you just comply with what the business is offering, and there's a trade there. But compliance in the sense of what you need to do and how you need to be and talk and act as a human being, I think there should be very little things I mean, basically it's just a standard courteous, don't 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 attack someone, don't get up in someone's shit, don't cause a problem there. If you don't cause a problem, there won't be no one. There is no problem if you don't cause it, right? So the unwritten rule is okay. There's plenty of world. Don't come and start fucking shit over here. Act, you dance and do all your shit. I mean, I live in a place where there's people play on street corners, people just sleeping in the streets like fucking, and you just go about your day. You don't bother them. They don't bother you. They're gonna dance. They're gonna ask you a question. They don't. You're just like, nah, have a good day. You move on. But a lot of people like to go out their way, and so now now this is motherfuckers out here that think that your rights, your liberty. I don't like either the words rights or liberty. Those do not really encompass what I'm talking about. Just your as a being, like to just not be assaulted by other fucks. Like they should take that. Like if your rule is mask and 6 feet, then you apply your rule to you. If I get inside of your 6 feet, then you could tell me to get outside of that 6 feet if that's what your rule is, and I will make my decision then. But your decision for me to put on my what clothes to wear, you're insane. Colin. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know what to tell you there. I don't know how to answer that one. You know, because one implies if you get it, there's a good chance you're going to deal with a lot of perhaps medical issues, perhaps. And as far as it seems, and we can tell, it doesn't seem to be looking so good. I don't know if you've ever had any major health dilemmas, but the things that apparently these experimental, I don't think they could really legitimately get away with that. It's like completely outside of the bounds of, and that's not to say anything that's been going on is anywhere inside of any legal definitions, whatever. But what's up, no ID? What's up, yo? No shit. Yeah, man. I mean, well, there's no idea. I mean, I respect that. And there's two ways you can look at that. Like, one is, you know, what kind of suffering would you have? What you might do more harm by doing the damn thing, you know? And that's got to be. And then there's also the second. There's also, which I think is more probably your standpoint, which is, nah, that's not. You don't get to tell me. That's not how that works. Like that's the original thing is no, you don't get to. This is as far back as you can go into what the world is. You can't. There's no. Can't force me to do some. Whatever the fuck that is. Experimental. I'm not your patient. I'm not that. I'm not that dude. which should be primary for most people, but they won't be able to. But health and religious reasons. Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you on that. Yeah. Like you can't really you can't accept that bullshit. That's nonsense. Like either stab me where I might go through pain and trauma and die, or just kill me. Oh, okay. I mean, that's kind of their mentality. And it's like, how do you not see that it's been this many days, and most of the people that haven't are pretty fine? We're not, you don't see people just falling out in the streets. Most people are not gonna have the wherewithal or the integrity for themselves and their own being because of many obligations, and I get that. But what they don't see the downside, which is, well, you want to keep your job, but literally you might not even be able to work. Like you'll be unemployable because you won't be able to work. The amount of times that's happened is insane. I mean, I've had friends that were unable to working, but they were already worked. They already for a long time have had jobs that didn't require them at an office. So them having to not be somewhere didn't affect them, other than like how much work they could really get done. But other people, they had things that their jobs require them to be somewhere, and require different things out of them where they will not be capable. You know. What? Divine, you said you refused an operation? No shit, dude. That's crazy. And when people tell those stories, you know, if you told that story to somebody, half the people would be like, oh, well, it serves you right, and the other half would probably be like, nah, that's bullshit. Even though I've read plenty of, and this is, you know, obviously not going to make mainstream news. Yep. What's up, Sarah? What are you doing? Hey, thanks for coming in here and putting some letters there. You're really great. Appreciate the bots. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's crazy. If you depending on your operation, like if that was like life death kind of. Oh, I know you. Oh, Divine, I know you. I know you're not kidding. I'm just saying, like, if that was like, life death shit, and they do that, it's just proof of what they do is not a health service, but a business. It's just a proof again. Like somebody, you could take your car into an auto mechanic. They don't have to work on you. They don't have to work on your car. You know what I'm saying? It's a business. They're not required to do anything. Quite literally. Who are you gonna argue with? Who are you gonna bitch to? It's like this. The bus goes by my house, and I want to get on the bus, and it passes the bus stop, and it passed it like twice, and I'm standing there. I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm just sitting there, and another guy's with me, and he's like, now he's pissed. Now me, I got nothing to do. I'm just going somewhere. I could have walked there already, but he got somewhere to be, which probably most people would have somewhere to be. And he calls. I'm like, and my thought is like, they don't give a fuck. What are they gonna do? They're gonna send a bus over right now for you? No, they're just gonna write it down in the. Well, guess the bus missed a stop. Who the fuck cares? Not gonna change anything about the service. They're not gonna change anything because they don't have to. There's no. What's the word? Oh, not onus. There's no. You're gonna get the same. You're gonna get the same pay for the same work no matter what. I mean, you do more or you do less, it doesn't matter. You're getting paid. They have no incentive is the word. They have no incentive to do anything else. Like they don't care. The people working there and like, just like you think a hospital, people are incentivized. They're given incentive to actually do the wrong thing. It's always been that way. Oh, Colin, yeah, I hear you. I mean, what? But so, if you were given proper if you were given proper information on what's the ingredients, what's cost benefit, what's could go, not cost benefit. Yeah, what is the cost of this? What could go wrong? What might be the benefits and how is this when you get into all that and you want informed consent, because that's the thing. You gotta, if you're gonna do informed consent, right? The trouble is they'd have to be forthright with it and be like, well, there's a possibility that you end up in the graveyard there, or seriously injured and disfigured, and probably have health problems the rest of your life. And considering what else might be in here, they would have to, so have informed consent. They'd have to tell you what's in it, which they haven't much done. Which implies, I mean, I'm not saying Nuremberg and all that, but that's what that's the move. Like, so what are these people's choice? If they were given informed consent and told what the possibilities were, they're gonna say, okay, so either I take it, or else I don't have any of these things. So you probably, there's a possibility you might die or be sick for the rest of your life, or you just take all your stuff away, all your little goodies. Sounds like really bad parenting to me, is what it sounds like. Yeah. I had no idea. Yeah, I mean, if it came to that, like the numbers. I mean, look at all the movies. The numbers of people that would be in their little. It makes no sense to put everybody into cages and shit. Just let them be out there. They're not gonna. They don't. People in charge obviously don't mind a little chaos. It's not. It's controlled. It doesn't matter if there's like groups of homeless people. They give two fucks. There's enough land where they could just leave those motherfuckers over there. Leave them themselves. We don't give a shit, and they ain't gonna give a shit. There's plenty of places, and people just go. There's doing their damn thing. They go, whatever. As putting no damper on any of the business, putting no damper on our projects. Aaron, that's hilarious. Yeah. Oh, see, that's the thing is like when people look at it the right way, and if it was such a big thing that they're supposing it and making it out to be, they wouldn't have to bribe you with donuts and alcohol and weed and da da da. It'd make no sense. It makes zero sense that you would do that. Like if it was just obviously good for everyone and was obviously everything points to this is what we need to do as a species to really stay alive and be healthy. There would be no coercion or bribery necessary, but yet coercion and bribery is all that they're doing. Threats, coercion, and bribery. That's their go-to modus right now. If it was so, and why would it take this long? We're 2 years into this. This is really where we are. It seems like everyone should have it by now. Easy enough. Yeah. I mean, they were doing it at drive-through McDonald's and anywhere you want. They had it available. As far as I seen though, not a lot of people were going. I mean, I know people that have, and everybody that I know that has, they've been sick, and they're not very bright people. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Hey, Krispy Kreme was free for life afterwards. Yeah, because the afterwards is only going to be a couple weeks. Woo! Wow. Yeah, they got better things to do, man. Ah, that's nice, Divine. That's crazy, though. Man, I couldn't even imagine doing that. Like, doing that and then doing that in where it's cold. That's crazy. You don't trust the Weather Channel? Well, I didn't trust them from day one, just from the jump. But I didn't trust them, especially after I hit the button to go to the Weather Channel and see what the weather is today. And I don't even have to scroll down, and it already gives me the numbers for the people that are it's giving me those. No, I didn't ask for that. I don't care. I don't want to know that. I don't need that in my visual field. I don't want all that information. I don't need to know that, because the only thing that does for me is that way when I go out, I'm like, well, somebody else looked at this, so I'm gonna have to. I walked through the park yesterday. I couldn't even fucking walk through the park without hearing somebody like, well, we did everything we good. We got the rapid tests and we got the and they're like, and everybody at the party is now burp, 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 burp. And I was like, what? I was like, these people are fucking weird, dog. It's a fucking cult of idiots. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I did hear you. I can't see it taking 4 years though, because the transition, it's depending a lot on what they're doing with the passports, like via plastic ID and shit, and having everything digital. I mean, everybody, even people that are, homeless, they got phones too. So that's really not a huge thing. But I mean, it's there's a few things of how they play the game. There could be an alien invasion. Are they doing that? Are they doing a war? Are they doing zombie apocalypse? Because the zombie apocalypse could be just waiting on them really turning 5G, and then all of the uh, graphene oxide and everything. I mean, it could be that. I don't know. I don't know what game they're playing. That's funny though, because the weathermen they've already completely stated on all of the news channels, all of them, that of course they're doing things in the skies. Of course they are. Of course they're doing weather modification. They've already said so. So to say that they're not, that's silly. I know, right? Yeah, divine. There is really, uh, it just fucks with me because I'm like, I make shit, and I'm getting by, and I'm not as happy as I could be. I'd like to make a lot more money, but by a lot more for me, if I had $1 million a year, you know how simple it would be to make everything a lot better for a lot of people. It's not even it's not even on the table. Like if you're making six figures in most places, you're good. You're super good. So I don't know. I don't know. So people, and there are quite a bit of millionaires now, and like the fact that if you make a million, you can take care of, you can help out at least 10 people really really well. And whether it's gainful employment or donations or just a little help here and there, a millionaire can do a fucking shit ton. You know what I'm saying? They can do a lot. They don't. I mean, once they're done jacking themselves off because they got a fucking, uh, I got a $100,000 BMW surprise, and I got a, well, get all your funny games and shit. There's really not that much, unless you feel like you gotta go out to eat every night of the week at the fanciest restaurants, and don't even figure out how to cook, and like everything's got. I mean, other than that, any reasonable person could could figure with $1 million figure out how to. You could start businesses for people. You could really. Hmm, what kind of fantasy world am I living in, huh? Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Hey, Aaron Colburn, that's hilarious. Wait, the magnet thing? The magnet thing, I've seen a bunch of people that seem pretty legit, like that did the magnet thing, and they're all magnetized. I mean, again, here's the thing that you gotta remember: when shit is in what is called a trial phase, not everybody is getting not everybody is getting the actual substance. Literally, the number of people getting the actual substance is very low. It's not even near 50%, and they had to do that over. So you that's for a number of reasons. Damn. Oh, I know. I mean, I don't even know about like the whole magnet not sticking. It was pretty fucking clear though that people were just like, okay, let me get a magnet. Let me see. You guys want to see if I'm all magnetized? Obviously, hopefully not. Oh shit. I already tried it though. I have a magnet over there. Well, I think a no ID. What I think happens is with the with certain material on the think about it this way. Um, if you turn on a frequency is going to be in resonance with something else, a particular object. So if you turn on a certain frequency, some sounds are nice to your ears and some make you want to fucking puke, right? So in your body, you could have a metal that is in line with a certain, frequency. So, you know, I think people don't even need to get the stabby wabbers, and their life diet as a general rule has probably been so awful that they have all sorts of things in them that are going to fry them. Just like you said, I think that they're going to get fried anyways to some degree. But I think whatever might be in there is just an easier way to dial in and control things. Yeah. What is that? What is that? As you say, why aren't the lovely, wonderful plans for humanity in store with the people in charge? They have to know they're pieces of shit, right? They have to know they're somewhat evil. They have to know that they're selfish, that they're fascist, that they're. They have to know that, right? They can't be completely oblivious to the fact that just because there are people around them that are applauding them and patting them on the back, that the grand population is like, well, what do you do? How are you helping us? They have to know that, right? And how is it that nobody that is actually heart centered and like sees how money or even capitalism or all of these systems, how they could be helpful if you used them right? How come none of those people get why? That doesn't make a lot of sense. Aaron, the foods are already filled. I don't know, perhaps. Perhaps. I mean, if they are, they are. See, again, another one of those things. How would you know? And if they are, so what? Then there's nothing you can do. I've always kind of, well, what are you going to do about it? That's all. That's all. I say it in a very dismissive way to people. Like, what are you going to do about it? Like I'm twice your size and I'll whoop your ass. What are you going to do about it? You ain't gonna do shit. But I'm also saying it in a very like, I can't do anything about it either. Like, what are you gonna do? I can't go to the casino and gamble against someone that has $1 million. If I have $100, there's no way I can sit down at that table and gamble that person off the table. I would have to do something else. I couldn't do it. It's impossible. I don't care how good of a gambler you are. You lose one hand. They're gonna put you all in every single time to win a hand. You can't win out that many. Oh, nice. Walmart organic. Nice. Hey, Colin. You know what? I mean, as much as I want to agree with that, because we do have a lot of self, like, oh, whenever, like some people that remind me of things when here's a deep psychological thing for people. This is like if someone reminds you of something that was off-putting to you as a child, then you'll find them as an adult to be, your kind of repressed feelings about like how could you have been stronger or more intelligent or something as a child. So when someone acts like that, you'll oftentimes see them as like, oh, you have this really distaste. So if you had a distaste for like, obviously everyone here has a distaste for some way that they were, and then you work through it going, oh well, I was just a child. And then if you go look at everybody else and go, oh, they're just children, But then you get to the point of like, at what point you're not gonna smack your child, and the people that are in charge, as much as it's reflections of self, there's no way, unless of course you just go, okay, I grew up as a nerd in a family that gave me a lot of money, and we're all reptoids. Then what's your choice? Like, that's not a reflection of you. But you could have grown up in a family like that. Would you be you if you grew up in Bill Gates' situation would have been Bill Gates? When we get that, so in that sense, I'll say I don't. I hold no like. I don't know. It's like, I mean, if that was my kid, I'd smack the shit out of him. Yeah. At some point I might go, okay, you've murdered about like 100,000 people. That's enough for you. I'll just build some more kids. I'll just go. I mean, what what are you supposed to do? Just because you can conceptualize if you had lived that life, which is true, because that's what would happen. That's what happened. So there's another version of you. It doesn't take away from that's not something that can be continually accepted as a reasonable behavior on this realm, right? There's certain shit in the gray area where someone's running a business. The very explicit capitalists say, well, if I'm making a lot of money doing something, why should I be? They're buying that. That's up to them. They say laissez-faire. Buyer beware. It's up to you. If you don't like the product, don't buy it. You should figure that out. I'm just offering something. It's the what do you think people that sell drugs on either legal or illegal? I don't care. They go, well, it's not. This is not up to me. I didn't grow that kid up. I didn't do that. If I don't sell it, someone else will. So why shouldn't I make some money off it? Why shouldn't I? Why is my life? Why do I got to struggle every day? I might end up like them if I can't eat and pay the bills. I ain't gonna get high on my own supply. They can buy it. If I don't sell it, doesn't get rid of it. That's the number one thing they'll go to. 1,000,000 times over, they'll say, if I don't sell it, somebody else will. There's less of them. Yeah, but how do you can't? There's no ability to communicate properly. There's no cohesion against intelligent people. There's no cohesion. Look, they already control the shit that. Okay, I can communicate to how many of you on here? My channel should be way bigger, but you know what? As soon as I say anything of importance, they cut that algorithm and fuck it up. Yeah, so all these people are saying anything to try to bring a community together, do anything. Where are we going to talk? How are we going to do that? How do you know? It's any asshole can say any dumb shit they want on all of these platforms, and they can interconnect and speak their mind on the YouTubes and all these other platforms, and even coalesce into groups in the human form. Just like, here we go, we're gonna go have a fucking thing. They'll do that. They'll be part of their cults and whatever. But you know what? Just because there's more of us, even if there are, which I don't know. How do you do anything with it? Do what? Yeah, Colin. Yeah, I'm not saying I have no judgment. I have, because I'm not a judge, so I cannot judge someone. What I will, however, do is make an assessment that for my being, that's not right. If someone says, "Oh, don't judge me," I'm like, I'm not judging you. I'm just saying that in this scenario here, this is not what I desire. So get the fuck out of my way. That's not judgment. Judgment is to turn left when you could have went straight, because if you went straight, you'd run into something. It's not judgment. That's just like what you do. And yeah, and to hate? No, I don't hate anybody. I don't hate these fucking people. Do I think they're scumbags? Do I think they're fucking pieces of shit? Do I not like them? Yeah. It's hard to hate someone, like, because you'd have to go, oh, if you grew up in that scenario, you would be the same thing. So I can't hate that. But it doesn't mean I'm going to interact with it. Doesn't mean I'm not going to make an assessment to say I won't interact with that. That's bullshit. Yeah, it's not judgment. It's just a matter of fact. Yeah. Yeah, it's like I don't get to choose. I don't get to choose who goes to heaven or hell. That would be a judgment, right? I don't get to choose who goes to the fancy party and who doesn't. That's not. I'm not gonna judge people on that. I can't. I can't. There's no way. I can just for my own sanity. Uh, you know, there's people that you like and people you fucking do not like. If you want to say the word is judgment, so be it. But that's not really judgment because they're not gonna. You're not putting them anywhere. You're not gonna. You're just making a rational. You're just going. Well. Yeah, divine. Well, yeah. I think a lot of people though they don't. They. I've had so many people say, "Oh, you're judging. Oh, you're this." I'm like, no, I'm not. Like a lot of people really, especially in this time frame, in this age of these fucking clueless cocksuckers. See, I call someone a clueless cocksucker doesn't mean I'm judging them. I'm just making a statement of obvious fact that they're clueless and they suck cock. That's just what it is. I don't hate them for it. What's up, Muffin? It's like my opinion of you is invalid to you. It should be. I call you anything I want. Doesn't mean I'm judging you. Take it or leave it. I think some comedians are funny. I think some suck. Somebody played some music for me the other day. I was like, this fucking trash. They got mad at me. I'm like, but it just I don't like it. It sounds like shit flowing through my brain. I don't like this. This is trash. What do you want? What do you mean lie to you? What do you tell you? You tell you like when you tell your aunt that was good, so you're upset. If the shit sucks, it sucks. It just was to me. That's my opinion. Cook something else next time if you want to impress me, bitch. If everybody else likes it and I don't, well then I guess I won't eat. It doesn't. I'm not mad. I'm just saying I don't think you can cook. I'm just saying you fucking you proselyte. Sorry, I was just thinking of an old joke. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. What are you supposed to? It is what it is a really simple way to. How do you else do you say it? When someone says it is what it is, they're really saying they believe in the Tao. They're saying that. They have to be. It is what it is. What else would it be? There. That's a. Yeah, it's a simple way of saying I don't fucking care. Come on, Aaron Colburn. You got to know how people get into crap music. The same way they get into crap food, crap relationships. Crap music is your friends listen to it, they're nodding their heads. It becomes a if you want to deal with deep psychology on it. Like I mean, it's not even that deep. It's just once you put it's a trance. Once you put the music on there, you already got someone's mind with the rhythm. You got that beat. Got this. The timing is perfect, and then you're gonna put uh, people around them, so it's like a group. It's group psychology, group think. They're gonna conform, and once people start doing that at an early age, they think they like the music that they are listening to, when in fact they might just go, "The fuck is this shit?" They won't, because they're not exposed to music that isn't like the music they listen to. I can't tell you how many times I play music for people like, what the fuck is this? I'm telling you on a regular basis, I'll sit somewhere. And they're like, what the fuck? Thank you for the music. I never heard that before. And which got them out of their trance of whatever music they listen to. I'm like, who is that? What is that? Can you tell me what that? You know? Sometimes it's people like, oh, thanks for the new music. But most of the time it's people like, I can tell. They're kind of people that listen to the same fucking, they put the radio station on, listen to the same fucking songs. They've been listening to for the last 10 years, and they get the little new shit in the mix every once in a while. I mean, shit music is shit music. There's no way else to look at it. But You know, you're saying art is not subjective. This is the thing about art and music and comedy. Let's just art, music, comedy, and cooking. Yes, they're all subjective. But if you burn some fucking chicken, if you oversalt the soup, if you tell a joke that just isn't funny, if you make music that is off key, off beat, and shitty, if you make Jackson Pollock, if you just shit on a canvas, these are not quality. These are, would you call them food, art, music? I don't even know if you can. You would say that's making an attempt to be. So you're saying so objectively it is. Well, objectively everything is fucking one big goddamn stew of shit, right? But is that good music? Is that good art? Across the board. Well, one person says, well, they made it. They thought it was good. Yeah, well, their taste fucking sucks. They have no quality. They're tone deaf. Yeah, Aaron. Yeah. Being judgy. It's like, sorry, I don't like that. What the fuck you want me to do? There you go. Thank you. So you telling, yeah. So them telling you are judgmental is them being judgmental to you saying that. Yes. They can't even see it. Like, you're judging me for speaking my mind. I didn't make any major claim to say, you are such a piece of shit. I hope you die in a car crash because you deserve it and everything of your life. You know, there's none of that. It's literally just like, you're a fat fucking retard. Or whatever it is. It's not judgmental. It's like that Mark Norman joke. He's like, I got fat friends who skinny shame me. Life is so easy for you because you're skinny and I'm chubby. He's like, yeah, but you could be too. I just did the things to stay skinny. You know, like. Yeah, exactly. It's an opinion. It's an opinion. It is a subjective opinion, right? Well, let's play everything's a subjective opinion. In that case, you can't really get mad about anything. But then you can say, okay, there's an objective fact. It's a very light fact that let's say Prince's music is better than Insane Clown Posse. Don't mean to bring it there because that could be taste subjective, but I'm saying like Prince is better than fucking toothless homeless guy in the corner that has his two spoons and a wooden spoon, and you know what I mean. We're not that. It's music. I think we can pretty much agree here. You've got to have that part. But most of the time, it's like, hey, that's opinion, man. The only time we can deal with facts is, I don't know, like there seems to be an overabundance of facts that are actually built into opinions. Just assessments. No real judgment. Just going, pretty strong opinion I have. I have strong opinions. Doesn't mean being judgy. There, no idea. See, it is a fact. It is a fact. A very heavy-weighted opinion that it's better than most. Now, is for my money, is Prince the greatest artist of all time? No, I think he's up there. I would put Beck up there too. There's some hip hop artists that I love. I love his music. I love both their music, but you know what? Neither of them are on my playlist because I can frequently find other people that listen to them and find new things. Yeah. No, but he's up there. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, certainly. He's not getting outside of the top 10. He's probably in the top 3. I could easily say he's the top 5, but there's other types of music I like, and there's other musicians that are like FKJ. Is a virtuoso. Like, dude can play anything to a high level, like probably beyond Prince. But nobody really knows him, so it's hard for me to have a conversation about it. Yeah, but as close as you can come to being factual and objective. The objective reality, as I like to point out, the objective reality, it exists. Most things are subjective. I like the idea that most things are subjective. Like, whether or not you like what my apartment looks like is up to you. Objectively, you could be like, subjectively even, you could say your house stinks. But then again, maybe I like the aroma. So then it's still not objective, it's still subjective. Now what we can see as an objective fact is this is a domicile and there is a window there. This is objective. What our opinion of and what our stylistically we think of it is the subjective part. And people confuse subjective opinions with facts and objective reality all the time because there's such little objective. There's such a small amount of objective, tangible, material, real reality. Like, we can look at all these objects, but like how we view them is wildly different. I'm gonna leave my hat on though. Really, think anybody else is new here. Think about it. When you say objective, you're talking about an object. When you take a subjective, it's your view. So a chair, we know what it's used for, objectively, but subjectively, you could look at it, and if you didn't know any better, you could flip the chair around and use it in a different way, and it's no longer a chair objectively. So a chair really isn't even a chair. We could use I could use a pillow rather than to sleep on to, suffocate my grandmother because she's an old dumb bitch and I want her to die. That's a joke. I hope you can tell that was a joke. But when we say something objective reality, a plane is essentially, when it's flying in the sky, doing its plainness thing. It's being its thing. However, a material object can do something and is doing it, then that's what it is. A car is being a car. It's being car-like. But other than that, we have a lot of isnesses or ishness. Like, it's like that ish. It's not necessarily. There's most everything is very subjective, opinionated. Not too much is fact. Not too much is a solid, singular, elemental. Hey, Divine, are you saying we are all here, like here, or you just mean in the grand scheme of things? I'm assuming you meant here. Because who else the fuck would listen to me for 2 hours? Oh, it's 2 hours and 20 minutes in here. If anybody ever feels the need, desire, or a pull, the magnetism, the motivation to donate to this dude here, the CasApp, feel free. CashApp, PayPal, Venmo. It's in the description box beneath. TsarXen, and that's Venmo and that's CashApp and PayPal. You'll see it. Appreciate it. Happy holidays and all that. Yeah, Jito I liked because he was very matter of fact. He was very statemental and very plain. Mm, yummy. Alan Watts really liked Jiddu. He has one of my favorite statements ever made, which is, hold on one second. I'll give you my favorite thing he said in a second. Got it. This is one of my favorite. I've done so many videos on this exact statement. Is what is a measure of health in well, this is a paraphrase of what he said, but he said there is no measure of health in an extremely insane society. Like, there's no proper response to anything. If everything is insane, then a sane response wouldn't be sane. If everything is so bizarre, you can't. How can you be healthy in an insanely sick society? What is the measure of health? So there is no measure of health in an insanely sick society. There's no paraphrase right there. There's no measure. What is? You say what is, or there is no. There's no measure of health in an insanely sick society. So society as a whole, not reflective. Because I'm not a fucking insane person. Do I do some weird, insane, strange things? Yes. But as a totality, am I involved in the society's most belligerent behaviors? No. Not at all. So, what is my response to this non-reflective surface, which is a whole community of different aspects of me in different timelines? What is my response to whatever anybody is, their angle on reality, what they perceive as reality? What is my response to that? How could I ever have a justifiably quality response? Because it would all sound insane to people that are completely fucking cuckoo, bonkers. You could tell a man that's got a tree sitting right next to him. It's his tree. It's got $1 million. There's somebody sitting here just dying of starvation, crawled all the way there to find a fruit. And as soon as they get there, well, you didn't grow this tree and derp, can't have this fruit because I'm going to teach you a lesson because I'm a divine capitalist, you know. You can't tell them shit. You're like, dude, just give him a fucking fruit. He doesn't have any money. Well, he's going to have to put some work in because this is how you make capitalism work. And then I'd be like, yeah, but you didn't grow the tree because the seed just fell there and the tree came from whatever was before you. So, like, shut the fuck up and give him a fruit. No, you can't do that because he's going to be like, wow, there's how you're going to do that. You can't. These people are fucking nuts. They can't see anything. They're blind. The world. Ah, interesting. No ID. That's a really that's a really interesting. I never thought about that. Love is silence. Silence is the fifth law. It's also the fifth letter in the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E. Because E can remain silent. I'm giving you a bigger thing here. Fifth letter, fifth law, right to remain silent. Yeah, did I? Ah, E can remain silent. There you go. But yeah, I mean, I see that too. There's a lot of people. See, for most of you here, you don't see me in silence. You see me talking. That's what else. I mean, what am I gonna sit on? What am I gonna fucking sit on here and just like, cause I'm pretty, I'm good to look at. You're like, I'm like, hey, I'm in a pool. Look at me. Fucking donate to me. Look at my fat fucking titties. Okay. I can't make jokes. I'm not gonna play. I can't do mime shit. That shit went out in the 20s. We're 100 years later. I can't do mime shit. This ain't silent films. But yeah, I mean, certainly there's a lot of people that can't sit in silence. They hate it. They have to make constant chatter and noise. They have to fill up empty space. Because without it, they feel uncomfortable. They feel anxious. You know, silence is like after really good sex with someone you love, then you just sit there and go, and you're just in that space. You're in a space. I mean, even during it, depending on who's like into making gorilla noises and shit, and like, daytime fucking is different than nighttime fucking. One is making love. One is knocking backs out. I mean, yeah. When you're driving 100, yeah. I don't like. I mean, I have been there going fast. I can see the stillness when I've gone. Yeah, I can see what you're talking about, especially in movies, because there's a constant. It's a meditation. It's very much a meditation. Yeah, you see. Are you saying no idea? You're saying to me specifically. You see the silence in my words behind my words. Is that what you're saying to me, or just in general? Because it's like I was listening to Theo Vaughn and Mark. If you're not familiar, both from Louisiana. These two are Mark Normand, and they'll definitely be in the. Oh, I don't know. There's like a chiseled face of the four original whatever president. Who are the presidents? That you know what I'm talking about? Like if there's a Mount Rushmore of comedy, they'd be up there. I'm not saying they're top four, but in all time. But right now, as far as anybody working, they're both top five. Anyways, they were having a conversation about. Man, I was too busy thinking about how to explain them and I forgot the conversation. But I've lost it. So I was saying Mark Normand and Theo Vaughn, and they were talking about. I was just watching this right before I got on here too, and it was fresh in my mind. And I was talking about stillness of the mind. I'll get back to it. Anyways, if you guys don't know, look at I think it was a couple, maybe 2 weeks ago, a month ago. Both Louisiana boys, and hilarious as fuck. Watch the video, maybe you'll find the spot I'm talking about. It's in the first 40 minutes. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let me see if I can do it this way then. No ID. Yeah. When I this yeah, here I got it. So Theo was talking about how there was he's like there's certain people when they talk, I feel like their mind is a split second ahead. It's just right there. They're thinking while they're talking, and he's like, I can't do that. Theo Vaughn is like funny as fuck. He's like basically just says what's happening. He can't really. He's like, I can't form a thought when I'm talking. And Mark was like, well, I kind of find it the opposite because Theo was talking about listening to somebody like Ben Shapiro or Jordan Peterson or something, where as they're giving a thought, they're already computing something else, and they can follow this thing. And Mark was kind of funny when he goes, yeah. He's like, well, I'm doing the same thing except for my words are ahead of my thoughts, and as I'm talking, I'll just catch up to them. They're like, I'm gonna say something, and there's a joke premise there, and as soon as I get to it, I'll have the words. But I'm gonna say this first, even though my mind is a split second behind. So he was saying how like the opposite. Where Theo is just like, I can't even think when I'm talking, versus like these people that have this brain that works in a different direction. And it's like whenever I'm talking, I'm doing it from one of three places. One would be, I think people would assume that I'm. Oh, people have asked me, can I channel things? It's not like that. It's like sometimes I'll say things that I don't know that I know, but it's like if I know 1 and 2 and 3 and 5, then I know 4 by proxy. It's part of the system. I don't know that I know it, but as I'm saying something, I'll say 4 and go, oh, where did that come from? You know, or I'll talk from a place. So it's kind of like, or I'll talk from a place that is just either completely emotional or objective, in the sense like I can talk from like, oh, here's what I think and feel about something, or I can talk about a thing in an objective way that says, okay, here's some things that I've seen in reality, and here's how I'm an engineer, I can design something, and sometimes I can apply that to people's minds. I gotta get some ice cubes. I'll be right back. Don't go far. Oh man, I think I fucking might have overboard that shit. He's from Louisiana. Yeah. Mark is from like 2-3 miles that way, and Theo is from. He's from across the river. Well, no. He's from the north of here. He's from across the Lake Pontchartrain. But I mean, different, a little different. I mean, a lot different, in fact. It was like everything was kind of country, dirty, and poor. That's Theo. Country, dirty, poor, and Mark just lived in the city, like in kind of more. I don't know if he said he lived in Treme, which would have been a very bad area. Oh, what up, Skull? What you doing? Oh, Aaron, you made some cran mango ocean spray. You made some wine with it. Oh yeah, did you just throw a little extra sugar and some 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 wine yeast? I mean, you can use bread yeast, I suppose. Maple syrup, champagne yeast. Oh, champagne yeast, nice. I do like champagne yeast in a lot of the few times that I've brewed some beers and made some other things, and then just get a little funky and use some different yeast. Uh huh. Uh huh. I think I did it a couple times making um, apple cider. I made some cider, man, and I used honey. So it was like some cheap honey, and well, one of them I used the bread yeast, and that came out with a really strong like bread smell. Like it just overpowered it. It was like apple bread. And the other one I did with I added strawberries and ginger, and I did with champagne yeast. That was dope. Champagne ginger, or strawberry ginger and apple, and then champagne yeast. That was good. Maple syrup though. See, like the fermentables when you're trying to like if I had my druthers and money, like when I used to kind of have a little bit of dough, I probably would have made things different. And I'd probably, a can of, a bottle of beer would have still been $3 to make, right? It wouldn't have been any different than buying from the store, $4. But when it comes down to fermentables and things, 10 pounds of white sugar for a few dollars versus how much sugar you're gonna get ferment out of like really good honey, and you in a different tax bracket. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I did it at first because I just wanted to try. Excuse me. I wanted to try it, and I thought I'd be good at it, and because I thought it'd be cheaper. And then as you get into it, and you're reading all the books, talking to other people, like it's not going to be cheaper. It's because you like it, and it's because you got a Sunday, and when people come over, this is your beer, and blah blah blah. So from that standpoint, it's like I would have continued to do it, but I didn't maintain the same space. I had a different house, so I could, like, most of the shit when I moved, I had to get rid of it. I just didn't have space for it anymore. Yeah, I mean, if you got yeah, if you got I mean, maple would be dope, and apple too. Apple maple, put some cinnamon in there. That'd be, huh? Apple maple ginger cinnamon, maybe like aniseed or something. That could be funky. There's a brewery down the street that does some of the strangest beers I've ever heard of. It's called is it called Zoni? No, I think the beer is called Zoni Mash. Anyways, they do one beer that here's what they use for. They have in their in their place everything that they make. Let me start at the beginning. They use all of the candies from a candy vending machine. So like one of those, there's like 8 candy bars in there. It's like a cigarette. It's like an old like 1960s candy bar vending machine, and they call it. That's what they use. They literally use the nougat and the Snickers and the Butterfingers, and it turns out fucking excellent. So that's what they use for the fermentable sugars, and it gives it like a chocolatey, sugary, candy bar kind of taste. But it's like a stout, and it's like, I mean, it's an expensive stout because they're like, well, I mean, the candy bars is not cheap. I mean, they get them obviously in bulk, but that's what they use for fermentables. I wish I could remember the name of the place. It's a great place inside too. It's super cozy. Like New Orleans went from remember New Orleans was like popular, Mardi Gras, blah blah blah. All we had in the city was fucking the best restaurants, but no Chinese restaurants, no coffee shops, nowhere really to eat breakfast, and no breweries, and no distilleries. And then about 10 years ago, just about when I moved here, because I had to tell people, you got to make this shit happen. Coffee shops started popping up, breweries started popping up, and distilleries. And now there's like a fucking shit ton. A shit ton. Like anywhere you go, like, oh, there's actually a brewery there. There's a brewery there. There's a distillery. Which before, like, literally there was no small craft breweries, no coffee shops. It was just like your shit local coffee. Oh, I bet. No ID. I bet. Matt. That's what you get for when you go out. When you go out and smoke all the cigars and all the smokables with people for a few days, because I'm not a big smoker at all. Anybody's like, oh, I got a fucking black and mild, I got a small cigar, I got this, I was like, oh, cool. No shit. I mean, I love big fat ass cigars because I don't inhale them. But there's some of my friends that they smoke like they're like BLKs, like usually get little 2 packs. Sometimes they do the wood tips, plastic tips, but like I would, White Owls and whatever. They don't smoke White Owls because I know normally you just crack them just to fill them with something else, but they'll actually smoke them. They'll smoke like Black and Milds basically. And I grew up smoking Black and Milds when I played pool a lot. And so I was like, all right, and I kind of, so whenever we're hanging out, like that's just, they sit around and smoke those and talk shit. So that's what I do sometimes. Well, shit, guys, it's almost 3 hours in here. I would love to kick it with you guys for a bit more. If there's anything else you want to dig into, but this is like 3 hours, so I do got to I got to do a little pee-pee, and I do have a phone call to make real quick, and some other shit. What you say? Stay and roll a blint? What'd you say? Are you asking me what I said? I said to crack it and roll a blunt. Maybe? Is that what I said? Might have used a different language there. A blunty, mates. Blimey, fucking cocksucker over here, you fucking grimy, blimey cunt. Oh, why not stay in a roll of blunt? Man, I don't even know if I got papers. I don't know. I told you, I used to smoke like that. No, I'd actually have to go out anyways. And also, I'd rather be high outside. I'm already too, you know what I'm saying? Being in my space. Like, I'm already in my space all the time. So it's kind of like, it's not claustrophobic. I'm just like, okay. I'd rather be out in public. Yeah, so let me fucking dip out of here. Thumbs up or free. CashApp, PayPal if you want to. If you're feeling a little saucy, you get an extra $1 in your pocket, feel free. Yeah, it's TsarXen or whatever. Remember these important life lessons. One is fuck them. Number one is fuck them. Number two is be yourself because everybody else is already taken. And take care of yourself because who the hell is having this experience besides you? You're the most important thing in the world. Remember that. Don't be egocentric. Don't be selfish. But once you have enough, then share. That's how it works, you know? If you got 10 apples, you don't need 10 apples. You share them. You share the motherfucking apples. Good to see everybody. Be weird and be gay if you need to, and if not, don't be gay. In fact, I would just say, as a general, don't be don't do that, unless that's what you're into. Is what I'm saying. I'm using it as like a, I'm not saying gay and like a, I'm just saying it in like, don't be like that. Unless that really makes you happy. If it makes you happy, do it. Peace out, everybody. I'll talk to y'all soon.